Hey friends, it's been a hot minute since I posted on the channel. That's partly because the Grandmaster Nightfall last week had double rewards and was dropping the Swarm, Shadow Price, and more importantly, the Palindrome. I have no idea what drops this week, but I'm probably going to skip it unless it drops the Palindrome, and I might even skip it regardless. I managed to take out 3 treasures out of this Grandmaster Nightfall. It was 5 hard days of farming. That's at the morning all the way to at night, just nonstop farming the GM. And I got only 3 things to really take away from it. And none of it I thought was perfect at first. But then when I started looking under the hood at what these stat monster palindromes could do, I'm a little happier with what I ended up. This one, for example, has Killing Wind, Rangefinder, Ricochet rounds, Hammer Forge rifling, and a Stability Masterwork. And I know some of you are like, it's not a god roll, it has the Stability Masterwork. I thought that too. Let's pay attention to Destiny Item Manager, and it'll tell us exactly how much it has. 80 Stability. I found that this was a very important number. When you test across like a full bore Ricochet Rangemaster Palindrome, their damage drop off puts them somewhere in like 37, 36 meters, somewhere around there, right? So if you take this same palindrome at 36 meters and just fire full rate of fire when your crosshair is on the head, you don't have to compensate for recoil at all. It's going to land 3 headshots, which means that if you're getting flinched all over the place in a gunfight, instead of also fighting recoil and trying to get the reticle back on the target from flinch, you just deal with the flinch compensation. So for that reason alone, you're losing a meter or 2 max on these hand cannons, but what you're gaining is more consistency because you don't have to ever control recoil. Some days your shot's on, some days your shot's off, but with this one, you have to only do half of the aiming, which is nuts. And so I asked Twitter exactly which palindrome of mine they thought was the best. So here are our options. We have A, the one you see on screen with the Killing Wind Rangefinder, Hammer Forged, Ricochet, Stability Masterwork. B, which was Chambered Compensator or Fluted Barrel for max handling with Rangefinder. But of course it only got Subsistence and Bottomless Grief. I actually think Bottomless Grief is better than Subsistence because although Subsistence procs on every kill, Bottomless Grief gives me an extra 3 bullets in the magazine, which is useful. The way a lot of Trials of Osiris plays out is I don't even get to the bottom of my magazine anyway and I'm forced to reload. We kind of just put our chip damage, then fly in, and sometimes I'm the last alive, which means that Bottomless Grief might actually be better because getting a kill reloads the entire magazine and not just a little bit of it. And those 3 starting bullets might make the difference between breaking a barricade and not breaking a barricade, or shooting some ice crystals. So it has some merit. C is sort of a similar role, except it has the option of high caliber rounds. It has a reload masterwork, the other has a handling masterwork. If these had stability masterworks, I would probably keep both of them. Yes, I'm going to delete these. And then finally, option D. This is the sleeper best one. I did not think this would be that good, but it has quick draw, rangefinder, high caliber rounds, small bore, and a stability masterwork. Caps out at 78 stability. I'm finding that 80 is that sweet spot. Take a look at this. This is me lining up a snipe, a Darcy headshot, then switching to my hand cannon and just spamming the trigger at 36 meters. That same D hand cannon I just showed you. 78 stability and high caliber rounds. If you've ever been shot by Ace of Spades, you know exactly how high cals feel at that range. This is nearly 120 RPM hand cannon distance. I mean, you can compare it to the 120s that I own right now. I have a appended magazine, rangefinder, high impact reserve, hammer forged rifling, bottom dollar. This is a monster. But I'm sort of appreciating the extra stability that the small bore tactical mag brings to this one. This one also has disruption break, so if I use it with my teammates who maybe use like Fatebringers or Ace of Spades, this allows them to get much more consistent cleanups on people that I shoot 2 bullets into. So they both have their merits. I would say high impact reserves is good when you purposely break it down to half so that when you're dealing with high resilience people in like an empowering rift or something, you can guarantee the two tap. Or if you know you're going to activate charge with light, you can guarantee the 2-tap no matter what resilience, and then you also get an extra meter or 2 on the 2-tap distance. I like it a lot. In my kinetic slot, the equivalent I have is a rangefinder explosive payload True Prophecy, but unfortunately I struck out on the range perks. I don't think Crossfire is really worth it, so I'm going to take Steady Hand, Flared Magwell, and the stability is going to be 43. While this does feel good compared to other 120s, compared to Palindrome, it doesn't even hold a candle. That was a lot of information, but I hope you value it somewhat. Anyhow, you might be wondering what the other treasure I got is. Well, my character kind of gives it away. I finally got a min-maxed Capri Sting. Now, while it's only a 62 total, it has the low stats where they're needed. And so, with all the legendary armor I've collected over the year, it makes for a very competitive build. The only thing that could slightly make this better is losing 1 intellect and maybe putting it into recovery, or just taking these extra little stat splits and throwing them into recovery. But honestly, at 9 recovery, I'm cool to just keep it there, or even lose 10 of my mobility, because I'm using Chaperone, for example. Chaperone gives an invisible lightweight bonus, so I could actually have 8 mobility and then just keep Chaperone out when I need that dodge cooldown. But I played a little bit of Trials of Osiris last night with Drewski and Glow, and found that my dodge cooldown was super necessary for playing this Capri playstyle. I use double outreach on the cloak, so I'm often dodging at the start of a Trials round to guarantee I have my smoke when I need it. And at first I thought maybe 9 strength might be good, but take a look what happens when I drop it to 9 strength. Let's pay attention to the cooldowns. 44 versus 37. That's a significant difference when you think of how long it takes for a Trials round to end, a Trials round to start, and then how long it takes for you to run and meet people in the middle. So what I was doing in Trials is I would approach mid, I would throw a smoke down, I would see exactly where everybody in the map was, and I would call out exactly what my team should do with their utility. Glow was playing Shadebinder, and Drew was playing Top Tree Arcstrider with Gemini Jesters, which kind of sounds like a meme, but it's super effective because if he dodges near somebody, they lose radar, and Drew also gets an enhanced melee range similar to Syntheseps. And on my opponent's screen, Drew's teleporting all over the place when he's meleeing them, so it's a very, very safe playstyle now that shotguns have been nerfed. So what I'm doing is I'm getting information with my Capri Sting smoke, throw a smoke down, gain wall hacks. Yeah, I don't even have to pay for cheats. They're already in the game. I can see people through the wall, and I tell my team exactly what to do with their utility, their grenade, and their radar dodge. I will tell Drew exactly where to put his crosshair with the snipe. So on Wormhaven, for example, I say 2 are top window, 1 is going garden. Glow, block out garden, so Glow would throw a glacier grenade to block out the garden door, and then I would tell Drew, aim at garden, or I wouldn't even have to tell him because I already gave him the call out. He knows where to aim. He's an excellent player, right? So he's already pre-aimed at garden, and now that I know that top window is closed off, me and Glow fly to assist Drew in garden, and even if Drew misses the shot, which he's not going to, we're still there to clean up, and now it's a 3v2, and we have mid control. We can even let them get the body back at Guardian because we're going to break the radar and repinch from different angles when they don't know we're coming because of the Gemini Jesters. So it kind of created a dynamic duo that was really fun to build and made that entire week of grinding worth it to me. Also, since I have Gambler's Dodge, if I dodge near an opponent, I get my smoke back. And the thing that a lot of people miss out on with Capri Sting is they think you just have to use it for wall hacks. But your smoke bombs also deal increased damage. This is like throwing nukes at your opponent. This is stasis before stasis existed. You can even like smoke your feet if someone shatter dives you, and they'll lose half their health just for doing it, and they'll be slowed so they can't really escape and your teammates can clean up. You can bait yourself on top of the shatter dive and just ruin their day. So yeah, this is a build that I've wanted ever since it really existed, and it took this Nightfall to finally get the RNG necessary to put it together, and I can't be happier. I'm definitely going to rock this in Iron Banner, and I even used it with a sniper rifle in Trials when we had a 2v3 just to win it. It's oppressively strong with the sniper rifle, and almost doesn't feel like a video game. It just feels unfair to my opponents. I'll show you some examples. Let me first show you the Palindrome. I think this is the Killing Windroll. I'll go ahead and mute that there. So, of course, smoke goes down. I'm calling out to my team exactly what's happening. I close off the door, and now I have a duel. Glow puts down a rift. We take our fight. I have walls. I try to close myself off from that snipe. I get slowed. Then I just take my fight with Killing Wind. Easy 3-tap. Even if he 2-tapped me there, it wouldn't have mattered. I put my damage in and Glow was there to clean up. This hand cannon is amazing. Look at how little recoil compensation I do, even under fire, even under smoke, hurting my mobility. The shots still land. It's nuts. And then secondly, 2v3. By the way, this enemy team, they camped Glow's res because Glow was AFK. They won the first round and just waited for Glow to disconnect so that they could build up supers, right? They're trying to win. Makes sense, but it was a little annoying in the moment because we're just trying to play. We don't even care about the rewards. There you go. You see Capri Sting annihilated 2 people. Watch it again. Look at the entry. I had triple jump on for some reason. I should have had control jump, but look at this. Smoke goes in. I'm telling Drew exactly what to do, where to aim. And I catch the second guy, walks right into the scope, and then I have this entire buffer period to find the head while he's popping the super. Easy headshot. And that's all because of Capri Sting. I don't even know what you're really supposed to do against that. I guess it's just wait for them to throw the smoke and then push. Third guy pops a super. Hawkmoon is looking for headshot. There is a reason that I'm on Hawkmoon and a snipe. It's because the way this team played was very passive. So if I could just keep hitting headshots with Capri and then get out, repeat, Capri, get headshots, get out. Eventually I'm going to stack up the last shot of Hawkmoon. And yeah, that'll do some work. Might even allow me to kill a super or 2. We'll see. I might use this combo in Iron Banner. I don't know for sure. I dislike using Hawkmoon on my Hunter because I'm usually very mobile, but this Capri Sting setup kind of has me on the ground because you have to crouch to get that invis, and having Capri Sting is a really easy way to get that invis proc. I kind of want to play with somebody on Bottom Tree Night Stalker and see if they can set me up where I maybe throw a smoke ahead, they throw a smoke at my feet, I get wall hacks and invis, break the radar, get a pick, clean up the team, that kind of thing. There's just so many possibilities with this Capri Sting. I'm seriously excited for it. So yeah, I don't know what I titled this video, but these are my 3 treasures that I got from the Nightfall. I struck out on everything else. Out of the entire week, I got 1 single Raiju's harness. That's an exotic that I've wanted for an eternity. I played on that class for an entire month due to a charity incentive. I still need to do some of those commentaries, and trust me, they're high on the priority list. So Raiju's harness. Deactivate Whirlwind Guard early. Guarding does not consume super energy. I fell in love with this subclass. Even though I was forced to play it, I started learning the ins and outs, and it's such a fun and effective subclass. What you do with Raiju's harness is you try to set up a similar build to what I got going here. 10-2-10 with anywhere from 8 to 10 intellect. You start getting diminishing returns on 9 and 10, so 8's fine, but I would prefer 10. And then I want 2 strength because I'm ultimately just going to Gambler's Dodge to get my Tempest Strike back. So what you do with Raiju is you just play normally, and anytime somebody decides that you are important enough to super, you just pop your super to counter it and maybe just cancel it immediately. Or you can start using it like a better bubble where it costs 1/4 of your super to give all of your teammates high energy fire because of the interaction with powerful friends. So when I become charged, nearby allies become charged, and then when I cast a super, nearby allies become charged. So as long as they have both of those perks, if I pop a super, they get 2 stacks of high energy fire, which is kind of like running around with weapons of light. It's nuts. So I get to do that, and then about 20 to maybe a minute max later, I have another super, which is amazing. And then on the helmet, you would of course want to go double dynamo. And then on the bond, you would want to go double distribution and play a semi-aggressive build where you are dodging near people to rebuild your super as fast as possible so that you have another oh shit button or another cancel. It does not work against Chaos Reach if you try to block with the Arc Strider. Chaos Reach just eats it, which is unfortunate because Chaos Reach is in the meta. But as soon as it gets touched, Arc Strider Middle Tree is going to rise up. And I'm ready to lead the pack. I jump cut here because I was rambling on too much. But anyway, that's what happened in the last week. And I'm excited to get started on some more PvP commentaries. I'm going to be playing live on Twitch right now, some Iron Banners, some Dreaming City reset, maybe some Master Vogue if Drew drags me along, but I do plan to go through all of those to get the time lost found verdict at some point. I didn't know initially that's how you needed to get it, so I have to wait on the weekly reset again, but I'm not worried about it. It looked pretty straightforward. So see you in the stream. Take care.